Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of English with Strangers. But the conversation which I'm going to have today should not be called English with Strangers. We have known each other for almost 3 months. So, Rameshwarji, just quick introduction for our audience.
Okay. Hello guys, I am Rameswar Prasad and I am from Ranchi. That is, it's in Jharkhand. And I used to teach PCS students and SSC students. And actually, I used to teach GS to them. And other than that, at present, I want to make YouTube videos on history, politics, and religion and philosophy.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, that's the reason you are trying to improve your spoken English so that you can
Yeah.
start your YouTube channel.
Hmm.
Mm. So, when we started talking, the first thing I liked about your conversation style was that you were ready to put in the effort and you knew that to improve your communication skills, it will take time. So, for audience, what would you like to say, especially for people who are trying to improve their English, but they're not willing to put in the hours? They think that there is some sort of shortcut there that if I watch this particular video within 60 days, within 90 days, I will be able to learn English.
Hmm. No, it's not possible. Nobody can improve English that fast because it will take time. Because uh, at first one need to get familiar with the sentences and words. That is
Yeah.
very important, and that happens in a very gradual manner.
Hmm.
You can mug up the words. You can try to improve your vocabulary. These are different things, but
Hmm.
you won't be able to recall them while speaking.
Hmm.
And that takes times, and when one stamps or when one is spend some time with the word and the sentences, then it becomes easier to recall them while speaking.
Yeah.
So one need to devote lots of time to this language.
100%.
One thing I may observe that in the at least in few videos I have seen that few learners just try to give very good introduction. That is,
Hmm.
they introduce themselves very well because they mug up that thing, and
Yeah.
after that they start fumbling
Hmm. Hmm.
because
Hmm.
they don't have command over the language, and it takes time to develop command. You
100%.
can make up few sentences
Hmm.
related to English learning and can just converse with other people. That's different thing.
Hmm.
But in order to develop command over the language, it will take time.
Yeah. There is a huge difference between just learning some sentence formations and being able to answer with your own thoughts. And building
Mm.
that ability to think in English is going to take time. You have to surround yourself with this language. So,
Mm.
Rameshwarji, tell us your process of learning this language. As you mentioned that you are going to start at YouTube channel, but how are you
Yeah.
preparing for that? Like, tell us your process of learning this English language.
Okay. Actually, I mainly focus on reading books
Hmm.
and listening to videos. Mainly, I do these two things, and other than that, to some extent, I even write also. But I write on Twitter and Facebook, etc. Not
Yeah.
in diary or in diaries also. But whatever I think, that I write. Only that
Yeah.
thing.
Hmm.
But I don't select any topic and specifically write about that. That thing I
Hmm.
don't know. Whatever I observe, that thing I write in diaries.
Yeah.
This much I.
Hmm. And now you have
And other
started
than that,
practicing for the past 3 months, I guess.
yeah, since past
Hmm.
3 months.
Hmm. So again, like whenever we are learning something new, or especially a language, we have to have some form of input. Only then our output will become good, right? So, what do you have to say for somebody who has just started learning this language? How much importance they should pay to input and output at the same time?
No, input is very important.
Yeah.
I think that in the beginning, I think one need to have around 60% input and 40% output. I
Yeah.
think that will be an ideal combination.
Hmm.
But if one won't have enough input now, then how to what they will speak out.
Yes.
Hmm.
So
So
it's
input is
like.
very important.
Hmm. So
And one more thing
use.
I would like to add. I would like to add one more thing that which I missed in just few minutes back. That I even used to think a lot in English,
Mhm.
and I even goes to for morning walk, and there I spend around 2 hours in exercising, jogging, and morning walk.
Hmm.
And throughout the duration of 2 hours, I think in English.
Yeah.
So that helped me a lot. And there I even used to revise the words also.
Mm-hmm.
So that helped me a lot.
Yes. What about grammar? Like, how much do you think a person need to pay attention to it?
Yeah, one need to pay attention to grammar. Yeah, because look, actually I am from English medium school, so that's
Hmm.
why I didn't have to pay much attention. And I studied grammar till around class 8th only.
Mm-hmm.
And even now I don't feel much problem in grammar. So that's why I actually personally I didn't have to pay much attention to grammar. But other than that, mm, people who aren't from English medium or they don't they haven't studied properly grammar in their
Hmm.
school days, they will have to pay attention. Otherwise, how they will form sentences properly?
Exactly. And also, it gives you confidence that at least whatever I'm speaking, it is correct.
Yeah.
So, the another confusion with English learners is that a lot of people are preparing for government exams and they think that my grammar is all right, but still I'm not able to speak. But they also
Mm,
forget one thing, that English is a language. If you're not
mm,
building that muscle memory, practicing, then grammar is not going to help you much. So you need to combine both. Like, grammar is a form of input, isn't it?
yeah.
But you have
Mm-hmm.
to participate in output, otherwise you won't be able to build that muscle memory.
Yeah, definitely. One will have to speak out. Otherwise, how can one speak? Because look, thinking, I even did lots of thinking, but
Hmm.
thinking is helpful to some extent. But if you want to speak in English, then you will have to speak out.
Yeah.
There isn't any solution.
Hmm. Because when you start something, your brain is convincing you that no, it's quite embarrassing. Why are you speaking in another language? So you have to get
Mm.
used to that embarrassment also. Like, you have to tackle that. That's another problem, I think. Like, if you speak
Mm-hmm.
Bhojpuri, if you start talking to somebody in Hindi, you will think that, doesn't that sound odd? You are talking to yourself, right? So in the
Yeah,
same
in the
manner,
beginning
then,
it happens.
hmm, yeah.
In the beginning it happens. Yes.
So tell us your plan about creating this YouTube channel. What kind of content we can expect from you?
For me, at least, very quality content on current events, and those topics will incorporate knowledge from history, religion, and philosophy as well. So I think they will be very illuminating for those people who are who want to know things in a deeply.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
What the language would be English, I guess.
No, mostly Hindi, but if I will some get some guests and then I will have to talk in English. That's what I am
Mm-hmm.
preparing, improving my English.
Yeah. Mm.
There I even is planning to just talk with strangers as well. That whomsoever will try to talk with me upon those topics in which I will be talking, so I
Mm-hmm.
will talk with them.
Yeah.
And if some people or some guy will come in and try to talk with me in English, then at least I will be able to respond in English. So that's why I'm improving my English.
Mm-hmm. The topics you have selected, they are quite challenging in terms of preparation, knowledge. Like, you have to study a lot, not just reading.
Hmm.
You have to read in
Hmm.
detail, right?
Hmm.
You have to build your own thoughts. So tell us your
Hmm.
process of learning things. How much time do you spend with a particular text?
Look, most of the preparation I have already done because I have prepared for civil services for few years, and I even taught for nearly 4 years. So basic preparation is there, and along with that, I have even studied philosophy and religion for nearly 2 years, and since 2 years, I am doing just only that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done lots of preparation, and that's why I'm thinking that I will just straight away start making videos. And along with that, if I will have to study something, then I will study. And even now I'm studying lots of books as well.
Mm-hmm. So, how much time do you spend with books on a regular day? Like, do you have any particular routine that you follow, that I have to read certain amount of chapters, or I have to complete this topic, or do you go with the flow?
I just go with the flow. Whenever I feel like studying, I study.
Hmm.
And at present, I'm not doing anything. So this is the only work which I have, that I'm just researching upon topics
Hmm.
and trying to improve upon my English. That's it.
Yeah. Uh, you know, a lot of Indian people, like especially youngsters, you see, they are quite confused these days. that what to do after graduation, what to do after plus two. So, what will you tell to somebody who is struggling with those thoughts? Somebody who doesn't have any kind of vision. I know this is a different topic, but uh, like you are a teacher, you must have seen students preparing for government exams. So, do they have clear
Mm.
mindset, or do they also have some second plan? What do they think usually when it comes to career? Two questions, by the way.
Mm. Look, there are few students who are very focused towards their
Hmm.
career, but there are most of the students are confused
Hmm.
because in government, by while teaching, I felt that most students fill every kind of form.
Yeah.
Will fill the form of railway also. They will fill the form of SSC also. They
Hmm.
try to fill the form of TCS also, and they even try to fill the form of UPSC also. So this approach is wrong. So, so that's that's why I think that if they will approach in a very proper manner and they will think about just one job at a time, I
Hmm.
think that will be better.
Hmm. 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 So you think they are going in different directions, and that's
Yeah,
why
this
they are
confusion is
confused.
there. Definitely,
Hmm.
this confusion is there, and in at least the majority of the students, this confusion is there.
Hmm. 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 So according to you, what are some top skills a person must learn in this century, or in this decade, not century, in this upcoming decade? Which skills we need to pay attention to?
I think the first thing is maintaining discipline. This is very important, and most
Yeah.
people lack discipline in their lives.
Hmm.
First thing. Second thing, then one must have the ability to think. If one don't
Critical
have the
thinking.
ability to think and analyze now,
Yeah.
then one can't go in any field. And if one is
100%.
disciplined, one can rise in every field.
Hmm.
I think these two are very important. Other than that, other things one will have to do anyway.
Hmm. Yeah. So again, like after you stop teaching, what kind of things did you start doing? Was it just studying, or were you doing something else at the same time?
No, I was just studying and just preparing to write a book. And I have
Hmm.
made lots of notes as well. And I
Yeah.
filled nearly 3 to 4 diaries also. But I
Okay.
will just get it published later on. But at present, I just want to establish my channel.
Hmm.
But without that, who will read my book?
Yeah, you need an audience. Hmm.
Definitely, that's
Exactly. Exactly. Let's talk about books for a moment. I know on my channel I talk about these things, but I'm
yeah.
reading mostly fiction. Like that's my go-to recommendation. If some Because my goal is something else, your goal is something else, and so can you make us understand like types of reading? For example, I'm learning this language, so I can read whatever I want to. I can read even fiction. There is no harm in that. But how can
Mhm.
somebody approach reading? There are varieties
I
of
think
reading.
I think in the beginning one should go for simple books. I think that will be better. Like I started with Nancy Drew. She's an
Okay.
American author and she writes for mainly adolescents.
Hmm.
And mostly the school guys read those novels. So
Hmm.
I think to begin with, they are very good.
Yeah.
And other than that, one can start with Alchemist and Siddhartha kind of books also. They are very simple.
Hmm.
And the English too is very easy in those books.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I have recommended this book multiple times, The Alchemist, because I also
Mm.
started reading plain text with that because it's just so simple, and a story is
Yeah,
fascinating
that's
also. Hmm.
mm.
Yeah.
No, it teaches that how one should pay to attention to small details
Hmm.
while struggling, and that is very important.
Yeah. It is. Last question related to books. What are you reading these days, and what and why? Why are you reading those books?
At present, I am reading early dialogues of Socrates,
Hmm.
and along with that, I am reading history of Europe as well.
Hmm. Can you tell us why are
Mm.
you reading that?
No, they both will help me in understanding things, and those things will help me in making my own videos, the kind of videos which I want to make. But I want to incorporate philosophy as well. So the dialogues of philosophy, Socrates will help me in upskilling me in philosophy.
Hmm.
That's why.
Language wise, how challenging is reading these books? Is it easy to read? Is it
Language
challenging?
wise, they are tough because in every paragraph you will have to consult dictionary.
Hmm.
You to rather say at present one will have to Google the meaning.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
What's your process? Do you Google every word right away, or do you take your time? Like you return to the text, you just underline it and
No,
move ahead.
actually, these is a classical text, so
Hmm.
I require to consult the dictionary every time.
Hmm.
At
Hmm.
times, when I read fiction like Chetan Bhagat and all,
Hmm.
so there I just keep just googling. But in these books, I require to Google because other than that, otherwise, I just fail to understand the next few lines. So it
Yeah.
become mandatory.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
why.
I recommend this to you also, or the viewers who are watching. Like instead of googling every word, you can take a few moments, but you will have to invest more time because you will have to
Hmm.
reread the text. Read the text.
Hmm.
If you don't understand, underline it, move ahead. You can use your own thoughts by take a random guess what it could mean, and
Look,
write
say,
then
yes, sir.
write down the meaning maybe in the margin or in the
Hmm.
book itself, and this will give you like this is called basically improving your comprehension, and it will not break your flow. Again, this
Hmm.
will be challenging and time consuming, but I think this worked for me, and I think it works for a lot of people because it doesn't
Yeah.
break your flow.
Hmm. Yeah, this is very helpful, but
Hmm.
I apply this thing when I read fiction.
Hmm.
But while reading non-fiction, it becomes difficult. That's why.
Yeah, I get your point, but it breaks your rhythm. Like I have
Yeah,
observed, if I'm reading and googling everything or looking in a dictionary, then it breaks your rhythm. You feel like it's just too much work, and after 15 minutes,
it's
20 minutes,
tedious.
you
Yeah,
yeah,
I do
you
find
lose
it
interest.
tedious, but
Hmm.
as I want to take this as my vocation, so I will
Hmm.
have to do. I don't have any choice.
Yeah. All right,
That's why.
Rameshwarji, is there anything else that you want to add for our audience before we wrap up our today's session?
I think that most people don't read these days, so I think if they will read more, I think that will be very helpful to improve their English.
Hmm.
That is very important.
And also, you guys will become a good thinker.
Yeah.
Your critical thinking will also improve.
That will improve. And one more
Hmm.
thing I would like to add, and most YouTubers don't suggest that thinking in English is very helpful. But I think for personally, that has been very helpful for me.
Hmm.
So I think people should think in English. Even if
100%.
in a wrong manner, who will know about it? You are thinking in a wrong manner. But
Yeah.
at least you will start forming sentences inside your brain.
Hmm.
And for that, you don't need anyone, any other person to talk to.
Yes.
These things you can do on your own. And if you are
Yeah.
having 24 hours, and if you are just having just 3 or 4 hours free time, you can think in English. That will be very helpful.
Yeah. That's a good starting point. I mean,
Hmm.
obviously, you have to build this ability to think in English. Otherwise, your fluency will not improve.
Hmm.
So
And that
instead of
even
waiting,
strengthens the muscle. That even strengthens the muscle memory as well.
yeah, yeah, it does. And that's how you are able to speak your ideas quickly or make your ideas clear to other person. If you
Hmm.
are thinking, the translation process will go away, and
Hmm.
your mind will be able to make quick sentences.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, then. It was lovely chatting with you. I know we have discussed this topic multiple times, but for audience, I hope it was insightful. They can take one suggestion that read and also think in English.